You know what's hard about having a baby? And I'm not talking about the birth. I know the women up here were like, gee, Philip, I don't know. Why don't you tell me? No, I just mean having kids in general. What's hard is realizing that you are no longer at the center of your own life. Once you're a parent, the most important person in your life is your babysitter. Just kidding. Of course, it's your kids. And that's a tough change to get used to. It's one of many changes I've experienced over the last 4 years. So today, fellow Toastmasters, I'll share with you 3 ways that my life has changed now that I have kids. The first way is that I've gotten really good at manipulating people's minds. Yeah, especially with my target demographic, 4-year-olds. Bribery, reverse psychology, it's all fair game. For example, one day Noelle decided that she didn't want to eat her spinach. Typical, right? So I told her all about the legend of Popeye. He ate a can of spinach, got super strong, and she was into it, which surprised me because this story had nothing to do with princesses or fairies or unicorns, but she ate it right up. No pun intended. The next time that we had spinach, she ate it. Again, no problem. I looked over at her plate and was like, Noelle, do you think you ate enough spinach? She didn't say a word, just stood up from her chair, walked over to the coffee table, picked it up, and then just stared at me. Like, I don't know, Dad. You tell me. Which was great. We had basically brainwashed accidentally our daughter into thinking that she now has superhuman strength. But at least she eats her spinach. And I think as long as she doesn't go out and start trying to pick fights on the playground, she'll be fine. So that's the first way I've changed. The second way I've changed is that I've become a lot more risk averse, especially in potentially dangerous situations. Because if anything were to happen to me, if I got injured or hospitalized, it would be on my wife to take care of both kids, take care of everything around the house. That would be a huge burden on her. And God forbid, if I were to get killed, can you imagine? My wife would kill me. And what's ironic is that just this past Christmas, my sister gave me a GoPro camera. I was like, that's a really nice gift, but it's a little late. You know, I mean, 10 years ago, if I had a GoPro, I would have clipped it to my ski helmet when I was dropping in off of cornices at Kirkwood, or taking it with me when I was going scuba diving with tiger sharks in Thailand. But now, what am I supposed to do? Strap it to my forehead when I'm changing diapers? I mean, can you imagine that? Highlight video on YouTube, set to some techno music? No, I don't think so. I mean, about the most exciting thing that I do these days is sing and dance with my daughter in front of the mirror. I mean, am I supposed to record that with a GoPro camera? Well, actually, I did.
How cute. That is adorable.
Okay, that's enough of that. That was a little more embarrassing than I thought it was going to be, but it was good. Let's move on. So, the third way that I've changed is that the way I spend my time day to day is different. And I think the best way to illustrate this is with a graph. So this was me. Thank you. This was me before kids. Typical week, of course, work, sleep, and then I had this chunk of time, free time, that I could either spend getting stuff done around the house or having fun. You know, going out with my friends, playing sports, playing video games, that type of thing. Now, I still get to do all of those things, but the amount of time I have to do them has shrunk quite a bit because there's this big wedge of a thing called parenting that's been shoved into my life, which is fine. I know we'll get all that free time back someday when my daughters move out, 18 to 25 years. It's fine. But now parenting, that's a really vague, generic term, right? You may be asking, Philip, how exactly are you spending this time? So I'll show you some examples. I spend a lot of time hanging out with kids. We set up play dates for Noelle, and she loves it. She gets to have a lot of fun playing with her friends. Plus, we get to work on developing important social skills like learning how to share, which doesn't always go exactly according to plan. I'm guessing this was right after she ate a big plate of spinach. we also spend time trying on makeup, lipstick, blush, eyeshadow, nail polish. I've got it all down. And Noelle, she's so creative. Sometimes she'll even invent new types of makeup. All I can say is thank God that's not a Sharpie. We also spend time hanging out with cool people like princesses and rainbow fairies and even other princesses. Yeah, princesses are kind of a big part of my life these days.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And finally, as all new parents know, I spend a lot of time changing diapers. First with Noelle and now with Celeste. Which means I also have to spend some time cleaning up diapers. You know, those occasional nasty ones that leak out the leg and get all over their pajamas and all over the changing table. It's disgusting. It looks something like... I'll spare you that detail. In conclusion, my life has changed quite a bit since I became a dad. You know, now instead of going out partying, we go to birthday parties. Instead of going wine tasting, I listen to whining. But it's okay, because I love my daughters. And you know what? It doesn't even matter that I'm no longer at the center of my own life, because at least for a few years, I get to be at the center of theirs.